Hello, BookTube. I'm here hopefully with a shortish video. It sort of has come out of mostly the video I did yesterday with a proposal for reading new books. Just a little explanation. There was a few comments. Well, one maybe about about the new what I class as new and what I like in books because I have quite a few new subscribers in the last few months, which is fabulous, and it's about time I think that I maybe explain a few things that are sort of alluded to or maybe other people say in the comments, because it is an ongoing thing with me regarding my health and a few other things. So, hence the question is why. But the why is not for those people who have asked me, politely these questions. It sort of is a bit of clickbaity about why are these idiots, uh, you know, doing, insulting me like they do in some people seem to like doing in the comments and the email. Oh boy, because I got up this morning and I normally I lay in bed because we'll get to this because of health issues that I have, and I usually reply and look at comments and messages back and forth. I look at my emails, but I don't really look at them until I'm actually physically up and do that. I did this morning, and I don't know if I've ever received as many emails on one video as this. I would say it was like split almost half and half of legitimate questions, great questions, wondering why, because yes, and it's like, well, why didn't you look at my video that I did a year and a half ago? That will explain it. No, who does that? So legitimate questions to be asked and answered. It's the idiots that accuse me and are derogatory in that either my looks, my weight, or anything else that I said in that video, and I don't want to get into too many details. That's where the why of the title of this video, and I know the why. I know the answer, sort of more or less to that. So, but anyway, the video that I'm referring to is the one, a modest proposal, um, and it was a proposal sort of for reading possibly newer books and get suggestions, because I'd be like, open it up and I'll read anything that's new, because here's the other thing I got to explain to some, because I jokingly say, I have been saying that anything new is post 1965 and that I don't read anything much new. It's not really true. I do read stuff, but it's pick and choose. I do concentrate on stuff before, because most of my reading now, I would say 80 to 90% of it is rereading, so it's all old stuff. So I jokingly say, well, there's nothing good after 1965 in anything, because I was born after 1965, so there can't be anything good. uh, you know, um, so I jokingly say that, and that comes up in things, and I think people are a little confused or concerned, possibly, which I can understand that. Um, and another thing that I said in there, because I never really said it before, and this I'm not going to go into details about, but I'll explain sort of something about this, which hopefully will, you can understand the situation where I said, I'm on a very tight budget for things, and from that I received, like, I think there's one comment it was great, and it makes sense. If you're on a tight budget, then do Amazon Kindle, rather than physical books, which probably in the long run you could save some money, I think, but I find that they're still quite expensive. Like, I was looking at new, like, I was purely looking at new in comparison, where I see new books that are just new releases that are, that are maybe in paperback that have just come out. They're like £5 something for the ebook, and the physical book is like $6.99. So there's not a huge disparity there. And to me, I would always opt in that case to the physical book. And it's not because I'm addicted to having books around so much. There are some physical reasons for that we'll get to in a minute. So yeah, and but I do read. I have begun to read ebooks. Now let's go back to the end of January 2021. I had a heart attack. Um, there's many of you that know this, and I've talked about this because it affects everything that happened from that affects how I do videos and issues that can crop up in videos with me. While in hospital, I got COVID 19. And when I came home at the beginning of February, I was very ill. I didn't move from this chair basically for almost 2 months. I couldn't lay down to rest. And I was taken to the hospital once, twice, can't remember now exactly, with severe breathing difficulties. Things started getting better, but I do have long COVID, and there's tons of symptoms, but the main issues are that I don't really sleep anymore. I rest, and I got to do that at many hours per day and at different times a day, even though if I may spend a period of 8 hours or 9 hours in bed at nighttime, I still need additional resting periods throughout the day, and I try to do that before I get to do a video or anything like that, or I got to do it between reading. So it does curtail my reading time. Period. Um, so yeah, just and because of this, I can't work. So that's just imagine for yourself what would happen. So yeah, and then the issue, like there's a lot of emails saying, yeah, well, I should go to ebooks and stuff like that, and not deal with hard copy books. Really great. Yeah, that would be a good thing if I could sustainably read for lengths of time ebooks. Now, up until basically Christmas last year, or I mean, I think it was in January by the time I actually received it because of issues. I was given around Christmas time a Kindle Paperwhite, which works. I can read from it to a certain extent, but I do notice too that the poor resolution on those is not that conducive to my eyesight. And I'm still getting issues, and then especially flipping the pages. But I solve that by every time I flip the page, I look away or close my eyes. So but sometimes you do too many. Um, and prior to that, I could never read because I bought a 10-inch Kindle years ago on I think Prime Day or something like that. It was extremely cheap. Uh, so I wound up just using it to watch videos on, basically, because I still couldn't. I would get massive headaches by reading from it. So but this no longer works because the charging port doesn't work anymore, so it doesn't charge, and it's too long for them. They I think they give like £10 off or something new one. It's just I'm keeping it because I know how to fix this. I just don't have the tools to do it. I know how to do it, so I don't want to get rid of it yet because eventually I might be able to do it myself. So I couldn't read from ebooks, and the Kindle wasn't the greatest. I was using a little bit, and then it was suggested to me to take my tablet here, the one I use now to read off of mostly, and the one I'm using to film with. Take the background, make the background black, and the lettering white. They might happen at the same time, but to do that, and then lower the brightness. Wow, what a revelation! I'm able to actually read the books, ebooks. Not for extended periods of time, because I still have problems. My eyes get blurry first, and then I can start feeling headaches. So as soon as my eyes start to get blurry, regardless of length, so I have to stop. So it means that maximum on a really good day, I might be able to get 3 hours spread out over a day reading on an ebook. And it's slower reading as well, because obviously just the act of reading for some reason on the ebook is slower for me. Most people say that they read faster, but for me it's the opposite. And then I'm curtailed by the number or the length of time I can do in a 24 hours. So that is one reason why I don't buy. Like, that's another reason why I don't buy a whole bunch of ebooks and read ebooks exclusively, because if I did, I would be reading a lot less. So I do read occasionally something, and also with this new project, if it ever takes flight, I don't want big massive books, and I don't because that means it's taken away other time to read other ebooks that I do want to read. That's the only way I'm going to read them, and I just want something, to try something different, but on a small scale and an easy, or what I feel would be an easy scale. Now, the question would be, and I have been asked this because people have asked me, well, what is the issue? I've replied to them in the past, like, what is the issue with your reading ebooks? Like, because I talk about a physical thing. Now, it was also suggested to me because somebody knows that I've had shingles twice in my left eye. And then I'm eventually actually going blind in that eye slowly. It may never happen, but I'm losing sight in it, and I will get transient blindness at times from external factors. And I was told by a neurologist, 50-50 chance that it may come back. So far, knock on wood, it has all come back. So therefore, it's and it was suggested to me that's probably why. And it was like, all of a sudden, I mean, yeah, that makes sense, because I was told, and they did test, that I'm light sensitive in there, that it's going to cause pain at times with light and stuff like this. So it makes sense. I never thought of it. And then I just checked with my doctor, and they said, yeah, it will, or there's a good chance, because of the other factors that I have. So it doesn't matter what kind of ebook that I'm going to have issues with it, but I'm persevering as much as I can, because I figured out a way to actually use it, which is great. But anyway, that's sort of what I wanted to sort of say. These are the reasons why, to answer the emails, mostly in emails, the ones that that were polite enough to ask me this, rather than be derogatory and insulting. And that's where the why comes in for the thing. I know the answer to those other idiots. But it's a bit of a clickbait to get you to play the video. Anyway, if you have any other questions around this, I'm perfectly happy to look at them. But again, if they get too, there's certain things, like I say, I don't want to get into certain things regarding that was said there. But with the health, because I'm not the only person that's going through this, and there will be times that with the cognitive issues, I just can't think of a word to say. It just doesn't come out. After the video, I'll remember it, and yeah, everybody will. If I can't think of something, they'll say down at the bottom. All I can say is I know. Unless I say I don't know this, then, and I ask a question, does anybody know the answer to this question? But otherwise, if it's just something that's tongue-tied and I'm trying to get it, I know what the answer is. I know what the word is. I know what the term is. I know what the person is. I know the date and stuff like that. It's just that it's just not coming out of my brain into my tongue and then out in words. So that is an issue, and I've been ongoing getting emails of saying, oh, I'm stupid and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, delete. There's some that are just hilarious to read. It gives me some entertainment in the morning when I do get around to reading the emails that come in overnight. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day, and I do apologize for the length of this video, but take care.